Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are all doing very well today. I just got back from Barnes& Noble and Half Price Books, and I thought that I would do a little book haul with you. I just recently got back into reading. I used to read a lot as a kid. Not so much as an adult, which I hate that I grew out of that. I just felt like I didn't have time to read anymore, and anytime I would read, I would just get super tired. So I've been trying to read. I've been challenging myself more to read for fun again. So I started a little while ago. I do this thing where if I'm wanting to get back into reading, I'll start with some super easy reads first. For me, as much as I'm ashamed to say, easy reads are like novellas, of course, but also smut, and like romance novels, stuff like that. Just like easy, fast, funny, raunchy novels. So I'll kind of do that. I'll read those a little bit just to get myself into that habit of reading. And lately, I've kind of swapped over to horror novels. I read Hellbound Heart, and then I read Amityville Horror, which is my first time reading those books. Hellbound Heart was, if you're not familiar, is basically what the movie Hellraiser is based off of. And to be honest, I've never been a huge fan of the Hellraiser movies. I love the idea of them. I just never thought they were executed very well. Don't come for me. However, the new Hellraiser movie, it was very good. I do recommend checking it out. I have a great respect for those movies. They've just never been my favorite. But Hellbound Heart, I will say, is definitely like word for word, pretty much the Hellraiser book. So if you liked those movies, definitely check out Hellbound Heart. I feel like a lot of people, I didn't even know myself that it was based off of a book, as most movies are, honestly. But anyway, rant. And then Amityville Horror, which is also definitely like a short story book. I read it in 2 days. It's very short. I think it's like 106 pages, or not 106, like maybe more than 150 pages, but it's super easy, quick read. I adored it, absolutely adored it. I've always loved the movies, but I never read the book again, so I read the book, and now I'm kind of on this haunted house / horror kick. So the books that I picked up today are very horror, haunted house, scary books. Hopefully, if that's something you're interested in, you can check out these books too. I haven't started them yet. I literally just got back like 30 minutes ago, so I haven't started them yet. But they are some pretty popular titles, so if you're into that, maybe you can check them out too. If you're not into it, if you don't like to read, or you're not into horror books, hopefully you can get some relaxation from this video either way. And if you do have any suggestions for me, any books that you feel are like must reads, please let me know. I am on a journey. I want to read again. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump into what I got from Barnes & Noble first. Just a disclaimer before going into this. I prefer Half Price over Barnes & Noble. I do. Simply because it is much more affordable. I love their system. I love that you can sell books back to them. I just love Half Price. I do. They have my heart forever. Barnes & Noble, everything full price, pretty much. They do have some good deals on books, like bestsellers and all that good stuff. But they have a cafe, so really I can't go to one without going to the other because I gotta go get my coffee at Barnes and Noble and then still look at books. So it's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing David and I go through. So first at typically what I'll do is I will figure out what I'm looking for, and I'll go to Half Price first, and then if Half Price doesn't have it, I'll get it at Barnes & Noble, because chances are they'll have what I'm looking for, at least lately. So I got the Hell House book. This is from Richard Matheson. He's also the author of I Am a Legend, which I have not read, but I did enjoy the movie. I feel like people who read, like people who are like avid readers, will probably jump on me for that. You know, like, oh, the movie's good, but have you seen the movie? This is how I live my life, you know? Anyway, so this is Hell House. This is by Richard Matheson. Did I say Richard or Robert? Wow. So, the synopsis for this book. So I kind of just, I googled a list of the scariest haunted house books, right? And then I kind of read the synopsis, the summaries from there, and decided like what I was looking for. So this says Hell House is the scariest haunted house novel ever written. It looms over the rest the way the mountains loom over the foothills. Stephen King. So Stephen King thought it was scary. I probably will too, right? I would hope. It says for over 20 years, Belasco House has stood empty. Regarded as the Mount Everest of haunted houses, it is a venerable mansion whose shadowed walls have witnessed scenes of almost unimaginable horror and depravity. 2 previous expeditions to investigate its secrets met with disaster, the participants destroyed by murder, suicide, or insanity. Now a new investigation has been mounted, bringing 4 strangers to the forbidding mansion, determined to probe Belasco House for the ultimate secrets of life and death. Each has his or her own reason for daring the unknown torments and temptations of the mansion. But can any soul survive what lurks within the most haunted house on earth? Hell House is a classic novel of supernatural horror and the basis of the terrifying motion picture The Legend of Hell House. So, sounded like exactly what I'm looking for, right? And if Stephen King thought it was scary, then I'm sure I will too. And of course, how do you pass up a book called Hell House? Which is also another good movie. Hell House, which is unrelated from the book, but it is a kind of like a found footage movie. If you're into those, it's a series. There's 3 of them. Check those out too. Next, I got A Head Full of Ghosts. This is by Paul Tremblay. So, wow. So everybody wants to hear Stephen King's thoughts on these books, which makes sense, right? Totally makes sense. It says, A Head Full of Ghosts scared the living hell out of me, and I'm pretty hard to scare. You would think Stephen King would be, right? Like, you would think he'd be hard to scare. This one is actually a exorcism book, which I also love. I love a good exorcism. Oh my gosh. I love anything demonic, demons. That's my jam. So, it says, terrific. Generates a haze of an altogether more serious kind. The pleasurable fog of calculated, perfectly balanced ambiguity. New York Times Book Review. Okay. Alright. So, it says, the lives of the Barretts, a normal suburban New England family, are torn apart when 14-year-old Marjorie begins to display signs of acute schizophrenia. To her parents' despair, the doctors are unable to stop Marjorie's bizarre outbursts and subsequent descent into madness. As their home develops into a house of horrors, they reluctantly turn to a local Catholic priest for help. Father Wanderley, I love that, Father Wanderley, suggests an exorcism. He believes the vulnerable teenager is the victim of demonic possession. He also contacts a production company that is eager to document the Barrett's plight for a reality television show. With John, Marjorie's father, out of work for more than a year and medical bills looming, the family reluctantly agrees to be filmed, never imagining that the possession would become an instant hit. When events in the Barrett household explode in tragedy, the show and the incidents it captures become the stuff of urban legend. 15 years later, a best-selling writer interviews Marjorie's younger sister, Mary. As she recalls those long-ago events from her childhood, she was just 8 years old. Painful memories and long-buried secrets that clash with the television broadcast and the internet blogs begin to surface. Gripping and suspenseful, Tremblay's ultimate blood-curdling revelation is as sickeningly satisfying as it is masterful. So, very excited for this. I love exorcism books. I love... This is apparently Paul. This is Paul here. Okay. He is a multiple Bram Stoker Award finalist and the author of the crime novels The Little Sleep and No Sleep Till Wonderland. He has served as the president of the board of directors of the Shirley Jackson Awards. Okay, I actually got a book from Shirley Jackson as well. And his essays and short fiction have appeared in the Los Angeles Times and numerous years' best anthologies. So, I'm very excited for this one. I think it will be very good. Also, I apologize that I am kind of like tripping up on my words today. My mouth is just like not working with my brain, you know? And then I got this one. It is a novella, so it's a very short book. I'll be honest, I was walking out, the cover totally grabbed me. I think this is so cool, so creepy. So this is Nothing But Blackened Teeth, and this is by Cassandra Caw. Apparently it is brutally delicious. Sharp, playful, and nasty as hell. Oh my gosh, Paul Tremblay. Okay, wow, like they're all connected. It says a Heian era, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, I apologize, mansion stands abandoned, its foundation resting on the bones of a bride, and its walls packed with the remains of the girl's sacrifice to keep her company. It's the perfect venue for a group of thrill-seeking friends brought back together to celebrate a wedding. A night of food, drinks, and games quickly spirals into a nightmare as secrets get dragged out and relationships are tested. But the house has secrets too. Lurking in the shadows is the ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart, and she gets lonely down there in the dirt. Masterfully turning the classic haunted house story on its head, Nothing But Blackened Teeth is a sharp and devastating exploration of grief, the parasitic nature of relationships, and the consequences of our actions. So, very excited for this, and it should be a pretty quick read for me. The font is huge as well, so it should be pretty fast. But of course, that cover, how was I gonna say no to that? Next is actually one that David chose for me, which I actually already started. This one is one that he got a few days ago whenever he went to Barnes & Noble without me. it's okay. I am still in mourning that he went without me, but it's fine. I will move past it. I just need a little time to grieve. But he did get me a book. So This House is Haunted by John Boyne. It says a richly horrifying experience, a gothic manse, honeycombed with secret passages, occult symbolism, and a subterranean river of terror, all there for the right lucky reader to stumble upon in the dead of the night, candle raised. I love that. Wonderfully creepy. This magnificently eerie novel takes us on a skillful journey through fear. Great fun. Boyne keeps up a constant barrage of surprises, and the pace is terrific. A Dickensian ghost story from the best-selling author of The Heart's Invisible Furies and A Ladder to the Sky. Set in Norfolk, England in 1867, This House is Haunted is a striking homage to the classic 19th century ghost story. Eliza Kane responds to an ad for a governess position at Godwin Hall. When she arrives at the home, shaken by an unsettling disturbance that occurred during her travels, she is greeted by the two children now in her care, Isabella and Eustace. There is no adult present to represent her mysterious employer, and the children offer no explanation. Later that night in her room, another terrifying experience further reinforces the sense that something is very wrong. From the moment Eliza rises the following morning, her every step seems dogged by a malign presence that lives within Godwin's walls. Eliza realizes that if she and the children are to survive its violent attentions, she must first uncover the hall's long-buried secrets and confront the demons of its past. Clever, captivating, and witty, This House is Haunted is pure entertainment with a catch. So, amazing. Says John Boyne was born in Ireland in 1971 and is the author of 12 novels for adults, most recently the New York Times bestsellers, The Heart's Invisible Furies, A Ladder to the Sky, and A Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom, as well as 6 novels for teens and young adults, including the #1 New York Times bestselling The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I did not know that he wrote that. I did start reading this. It is really good so far. I am enjoying it. It's definitely like a period piece haunted house novel, which totally my jam. I love period pieces too, so it's perfect. So now, we are going to get into the half-priced haul. I only got 2 books there because I was mainly looking for Hell House and A Head Full of Ghosts. Those were the 2 that I was like, had my heart set on, and I found them at Barnes & Noble instead. But I got this one, which was $11.99. This is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. So one of my all-time favorite movies is The Haunting. It is I want to say it was from 97, but it has Liam Neeson in it. It's got a few other people that you would definitely recognize, including, what's his name, Owen Wilson? Is that the right one? And Catherine Zeta-Jones, and gosh, I always forget her name. She's like the lead in it, but I love her so much. She's in so many good movies. But I've always adored that movie. Ever since I was a kid, it was like one of those movies that my parents always watched, specifically my dad. And so I started watching it when I was super young. And it's just a fantastic haunted house movie. It's beautiful. So this is actually the book that that movie is based off of, and it's actually like this book is very influential for horror, like the horror just family as a whole. So this is The Haunting of Hill House, again by Shirley Jackson. This is like a special edition, so it has an introduction by Guillermo del Toro, which is super cool. Not to mention the fact that the book itself is just super, just, it's badass, right? I love the cover. The outside, the pages are totally black, like, it's just very cool. So, just to read you the synopsis. The Haunting of Hill House. 4 seekers have arrived at the rambling old pile known as Hill House. Dr. Montague, an occult scholar looking for solid evidence of psychic phenomena. Theodora, his lovely and light-hearted assistant. Luke, the adventurous future inheritor of the estate. And Eleanor, a friendless, fragile young woman with a dark past. As they begin to cope with chilling, even horrifying occurrences beyond their understanding or control, they cannot possibly know what lies ahead. For Hill House is gathering its powers, and soon it will choose one of them to make its own. So it's just very, very cool. And it does have like a little introduction by Guillermo del Toro as well. I love it. I'm so excited to read it. It also has like suggestions for further reading. And like I said, it has like an introduction kind of by Guillermo del Toro. It's just very, very cool. I'm gonna look at the suggestions. Okay, so some more suggestions. We've got Come Along With Me, that is Shirley Jackson. Hangs a Man, Life Among the Savages, Road Through the Wall, We Have Always Lived in the Castle, which is another one that I saw at both Barnes & Noble and Half Price actually. And then by Henry James, we've got The Turn of the Screw and other short fiction. And then Judy Oppenheimer, Private Demons, The Life of Shirley Jackson. So it's just very cool. And then the actual book starts here. So I thought it was a really cool, I don't know, just a cool special edition. I'm very excited to read it because I've never read this book. I've always wanted to. I've just never gotten around to it, but no more excuses. I'm gonna read it. And then the last book that I got, along with my receipt, is The Exorcist. Another like infamous book I've never read. So I'm excited. I'm just really excited for these books. I'm excited to get back to reading again. Let's see. The Exorcist is an experience you will never forget. Wonderfully exciting. Suspense that never lets up. Absolutely superb. There are not many readers who will be unmoved. Written in a literate style, The Exorcist is to most other novels of its kind as an Einstein equation is to an accountant's column of figures. immensely satisfying, holds its readers in a vice-like grip. It says 4 decades after it first shook the nation, then the world, William Peter Blatty's thrilling masterwork of faith and demonic possession returns in an even more powerful form. Raw and profane, shocking and blood-chilling, it remains a modern parable of good and evil, and perhaps the most terrifying novel ever written. William Peter Blatty was a writer and filmmaker. The Exorcist, written in 1971, was his magnum opus. He also penned the subsequent screenplay version of the film, for which he won an Academy Award. His most recent works include the novels Elsewhere, Demeter, and Crazy. He died January 12th, 2017. So, this is supposedly the most terrifying novel ever written. You guys ready? We're gonna read it right now. Let's go. Well, I am very excited to read this, and I read the book, of course. Of course, I've seen the movie. Who hasn't? If you haven't, please let me know. Not that you have to see it. You don't have to. I'm not gonna force you, but I would just love to know if you haven't seen it. So I feel like it's just infamous. Like, it's one of those movies that everybody has seen. So, those are the books that I got today. I am so excited to start reading them. So excited. I don't even know where I'm gonna start. Where should I start? Tell me which one to start. I think I'm gonna start The Haunting of Hill House. I know I already started this one, but that was before I got this one. This is my problem with buying books. I'm telling you. Ugh. I think I will start with The Haunting of Hill House. But tell me where you think I should start. So, I actually did get one more thing. I got a journal, because if you are familiar with Half Price Books, you know that they have the cutest journal selections ever. So I had to get one, because I am starting a new position at work, which I will have more details on later, but I'm starting a new position at work, so I wanted to have a new journal for it. Just literally like a work journal. I have to write everything down. I think I've mentioned that before. I'm definitely one of those people. But this is a quote from Frankenstein. It says, "Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful." And I just love the artwork on the cover, the little like lab, what are they called? They have a weird name, right? What are they called? Why can't I think of it? Oh, that's gonna bother me. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna Google it after I make this, and then I'm gonna put it in the description. Oh, beakers. Oh my god, I remembered. They're called beakers. And then some little like vials. Like, I love the little lungs down here. And it's just a gorgeous journal. They always have the best ones. Like little stitching. They always have the cutest ones, but it's just a lined journal. So I'll use this for my work stuff. And then of course it has a little like bookmark, which I also love as well. So yeah, that concludes my book haul today. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed like the soft spoken. I try to do like a good mixture of content. So as always, if you do have any requests or if you just need someone to talk to, I'm always around. I always put my social medias in the description box below. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope this video was relaxing. I hope you have a good day and a good night, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.